complimenting Indiana on the second half. They played really good basketball. They played determined. This was a great game for our sport, for our league. Fortunately, we found a way to make the plays when we needed to. I thought the difference in the game was holding a team that gets 33+% of their offensive rebound, their shots back offensive rebounding wise, to 22% of those. Was, you know, we're not winning this game if we can't control the glass like we were able to tonight. And it really started at the last possession against Oregon. We've been very, I don't want to say lax on our blockouts and our physicality when shots went up. In the last possession, our guys showed that we could be the hammer when we chose to, and I thought for the most part tonight, even the ones they got, it was because the ball bounced a certain way or because they had a numbers advantage. I thought our guys played with great physicality and determination to rebound the ball, and to go 0 for 9 from 3 in the second half and still find a way is a testament of a team that just has belief that they're gonna figure it out.
Thank you, Coach. Andrew?
Dusty, many of these Indiana fans have made it clear they'd like you maybe as their next head coach. Would you have any interest in the job?
I mean, first of all, it's flattering when you have the path that I had. I'm still on that same path. It's you know, it makes you feel good because what's your competitive advantage as a student manager that transferred in from as a marginal Division II player, and you just think back and it's like, man, you really, all I did was show up with great energy and passion for this game and helping people every day, and because of that, I think people always saw something or believed in me, and then you get to this point. But that stuff's crazy. I mean, I love being at Michigan. I love our team. We're fighting like crazy. That's it. I mean, this place is my foundation, but I'm very, very happy at the University of Michigan. Came here to win a game, and mission accomplished.
Do you have any message to Michigan fans that might be worried right now?
I mean, there's nothing I can say that's good. I mean, that's going to make this one way or the other. I love being at Michigan. That hasn't crossed my mind other than just what friends and family have said. And to be honest, I've eliminated all that. So.
Thank you.
Tony?
Yeah, Dusty. Back to the game. The big three were the big three. There's kind of a phrase that you need three going into March to make a run. I guess you can speak to just them all doing things when you needed. Yeah,
they made the plays. I mean, I'm sitting here today feeling really, really great about our performance because those guys made big plays down the stretch. And you know, on nights, I still believe. I thought, you know, Reuben Jones made a lot of invisible plays. There were 5 or 10 that jump out that aren't going to be on the stat sheet that contribute to winning. And when you take a back seat and you start looking for guys as they emerge as your go-to guys, it shows great humility and self-awareness, and I think our guys are doing that. But the flip side of it is when those three cause an overreaction, we have to trust that they're going to play off that, and I thought they did a nice job of that as well. So very proud of how our guys are growing together.
So you do say, I mean, it's kind of a theme, right? The big lead and the close win. Sometimes you've felt not great after these, but it sounds like today you're feeling good, even though like a 17-point lead in the second half became tied.
Yeah, for the most part, I thought we continued to play pretty good basketball. Look, you drop the ball, I don't know what to say. Like, you know, I mean, sometimes stuff happens, and so we're not going to dwell on those possessions, even though those are the plays that ultimately got the snowball moving, right, and going downhill. So we're going to continue to work on being ball strong and playing with greater focus and attention to detail for 40 minutes. But there wasn't ever a time when I felt like, man, we aren't competing at a high level. We missed a blockout or two, but for the most part, I would say we graded about 90 to 95% of our blockouts. I thought we ran the floor. And even late in the game when our offensive possessions weren't clicking, and I thought their zone was really good, and it changed the tempo of the game and their press. But I thought we did the same thing to them. We forced them to go later clock before they could find what they were looking for. So I thought both teams did a nice job. All 10 players on the court did a nice job of disrupting the rhythm of the game. But late, I felt like we were a little bit fatigued, and we wanted to shorten the game. And I don't know if I've ever wanted to shorten a game. It just felt like down the stretch, if we could just get it to that 4 where we're even, I think we're even at under 4, that we could find a way because we've been in so many of these.
James?
Yeah, just kind of picking up off that, I think your last 5 wins are all by 4 points or fewer. Just how comfortable are you guys in these uncomfortable moments, especially late in the game?
Well, we're very comfortable. I'm not counting this as a 3-point win, though. Half-court shot. Hopefully this doesn't cause Twitter to go crazy because of the other side of college athletics. Sometimes winning's not enough. But I haven't watched the film yet, but there have been times this year when I felt like we had real lapses in concentration and we were starting to splinter apart. I thought we stayed connected. I thought our guys, for 40 minutes, were trying to figure out a way to win.
As you said, you came here in a very behind-the-scenes role as a student manager. Obviously, getting a big ovation today. Take the names off of everything. Just as a college basketball fan, a college basketball follower, what does Indiana University mean, and what does it mean that this basketball program isn't maybe achieving what it has historically?
Well, first of all, everything's changed. And I don't want to lecture anyone, but 18-2 is probably 15-5 or 14-6 now, with the amount of talent and the everything's dispersed. The game is completely different. Everyone's on TV now. Everyone has nice facilities. So there's everything's changed about all of this. I mean, do we all agree? It's not like it used to be where, and obviously there's a few still at the top of the mountain, but for the most part, the mountain's continuing to shift a little bit and move in, move out. Look, I enjoy watching all Indiana athletics. I don't want to comment on what they have going on because I don't follow that closely anymore. If I turn on the TV on the Big Ten Network and IU soccer's playing in the Final Four, I'm cheering because, those guys, I went to school here. But I'm not following it and I'm not setting my calendar to watch IU football. If it's on, I love watching it and cheering for those guys, and they had a wonderful year. But this is an all-encompassing job, and I'm focused on us. And so, every day is a fight to – but, I mean, I think they have a good basketball team. If the breaks go a little bit different, then they're going to be one of many teams in the Big Ten tournament, in the Big Ten and the NCAA tournament.
Julian?
Answer your question, I'm sorry. Get a little tangent.
Coach, to follow up on that, what was the day like for you, especially pregame, when you're coming into the arena, you're coming off the bus? If you have a chance to take a look at the arena before everyone comes in, can you give me a sense of the homecoming and what it was like for you?
I've never been into self-promotion and talking about me. That's the beautiful thing about basketball. I'm on a team, I'm on a coaching staff that made incredible decisions and adjustments that I happen to co-sign, agree with on the fly tonight. And I'm in a locker room with a bunch of guys that contribute to winning. So it's obviously there's a camera as you walk in your face and someone's listening, but we've had that experience before. It's good for if it's good for our game, if it's good for our sport, if it's good for our league, then I'm all for it because we all get paid well and everyone's taken care of because of all that other stuff. But I like the attention to be on our guys because it's a group that did that today. It's not me, but I do appreciate that. I don't really hear anything ever. I don't hear there's hecklers saying crazy things behind the bench. 99% of the time, I don't hear any of it. I heard the ovation and I appreciated it because. Just coming, like I said, coming from where I came from to be no other explanation. I didn't score a basket here. And to be shown gratitude like that is yes, it does feel good.
Clayton?
Thank you.
Coach, you talked about the rebounding, but just the loose ball, the level of intensity for 40 minutes, how proud of you were you of that? And considering, too, last time you guys were on the road, it didn't go quite as well.
Yeah, well, the first half I thought, to be honest, there were 5 or 10 possessions when I couldn't believe how quick we were to the ball and how we had numerous guys attacking the ball. The second half, we weren't quick as aggressive. There were a couple of just bad caroms and bad bounces, too. I thought we probably got a couple fortuitous bounces in the first half. They got a few in the second half to kind of balance that out. But I just thought we had great aggression and purpose when the shot went up. And ultimately, when you play Indiana, I don't want to say the game starts there, but the game starts when they release the ball for a shot. Those 3 guys, I told our guys yesterday, you don't have to check to see if they're going to the offensive glass. Book it, they're going, and so our guards have to rebound down, and I haven't checked to see how many they got tonight, but it looks like all 3 of our starting guards got 4 rebounds each. I would have thought they had 5 or 6, but that's pretty sound, and it was a lower possession game than we typically play.
Dusty, just given your ties to the Indiana program, what's your relationship like with Mike Woodson, and what was the build up to this game like for you with everything that kind of happened?
I'm very, very good at compartmentalizing what's important, and none of that stuff's important. For the last several weeks, I've tried not to be on social media much, and even seeing stuff that you're not looking for. But the build up to it, I've met Coach Woodson several times, a handful of times, and he's a very, very nice man. He was a big time player. I actually sat in on a couple of his coaching staff meetings when he's the coach of the Atlanta Hawks, if memory serves correctly. Bob Donowald Sr. was an assistant coach here, and I worked with his son, and there was a family connection there. So I'd actually watched his staff meetings, a few practices when he was in Atlanta when I was at UAB, because it was a 2-hour drive. But I have nothing but great things to say about the people that have contributed to this program being this program.
Andrew?
Dusty, what went into the change in the starting lineup, and what's your hope to get out of that?
Several things. First and foremost, Roddy Gale he's played at extremely high level at times, and I think he was having trouble picking his spots. Because if he's ultra aggressive, then Vlad, who shoots 70%, is not getting touches. And Danny's not in the pick and roll, and the game slows down. So it's more just a matter of like, hey, Roddy, what do you think about coming off the bench? And to be honest, I wish it was an original thought. I was watching a Kevin Durant interview a few weeks ago when Brad Bill came off the bench, and he was talking about, hey, how it's very difficult for Beal to play with Booker and Durant because they're going to get shots, they're going to get touches. So Bill didn't know when he was going to get his shots, and he was going to get his touches. So it made me think of Roddy at that time, and we've been kind of chewing on it for a few weeks and just thought this was a good opportunity. And Ruben, I thought he embraced that role with those guys as a connector, kind of how Leal's done lately for Indiana. I thought he embraced that role really well. And other than the shots not going in, I thought those wings played really good, sound basketball. They defended, they made plays that impacted the game.
James?
Dusty, I mean, your name has been tied to like head coaching jobs in the past few years, so it's nothing new to you. I guess just how to make sure it doesn't become a distraction for the team.
We'll talk about it with the team. I mean, I'm sure we control what we can control. I mean, that was the whole thing today. Like, what's going to happen when you get asked about this or that? You can control what you can control. And if I'm spending time thinking about that stuff, then we're in trouble on Tuesday when the Boilermakers come into Chrysler Arena.
No time for a couple more, Charles?
Yeah, you mentioned that Danny was among the players to step up down the stretch. What did you see from him specifically? You had the pass to Vlad for the go-ahead dunk, and then you had the and one free throws down the stretch.
Yeah, I thought those two plays were, highlight level plays. I'm glad he's on our team. I thought his rebounds down the stretch, I thought he was strong in press break. So other than those plays, we don't want those highlight reel plays to define Danny Wolf, because he does so many other things to help us win, and the gravity that he requires and whatnot is really important for other guys to be successful. So we're still trying to figure out our real offensive flow and rhythm. And but I do think we took a step forward tonight. I thought we had pretty sound role definition for the most part.
Go with Greg, and then, go ahead, Vic.
Dusty, you might have already addressed this because I got in here a little late. Are you surprised that Mike's getting out of college coaching so quick?
Am I surprised that Mike's getting out of college coaching so quick? Nothing. I mean, you look at our game, I don't think we're going to have coaches be anywhere 30, 40 years. I mean, I don't have an opinion. I don't know. I don't know much about Coach Woodson. I don't know much about the situation. Like I said, I mean, if anybody knows me, I'm pretty locked in on what I need to be doing. And so I think he's a fine basketball coach. I think he's a fine human being, and he's done a lot for this university with the jersey on and with the suit on both.
Want to close this out?
Dusty, you touched on kind of switching to a zone late in the game, got some critical stops. I'm curious, was that something you guys kind of had a notion you might use coming into this, or is that sort of a kind of as the field goes?
We have contingency plans every game. If this is going south, what's our answer? And so, yeah, we had talked about it. And once again, we huddled up, and I think we were almost unanimous that we needed to throw the zone out. We needed to throw the full court tempo press out just to kind of shorten the game. Hopefully they wouldn't be able to get to where, because a lot of times it's if you're trying to get it to somewhere or someplace, then if you can just disrupt the flow, the guy that's supposed to be screening's in the wrong corner, it messes up the timing and rhythm of the game, and that was our objective.
Okay, Coach, that's going to do it.
Thank you, guys.